Good evening. We'll call this meeting of the Johnson City Board of Commissioners to order for November 15th, 2018. If you'd please rise for the invocation by Larry Albrecht, pastor of Crossroads Christian Church, and then remain standing for the pledge.
Please join me in prayer. Father, as we gather here this evening, we pause and seek your guidance. Your word tells us to pray for our leaders, and I'm so glad for this opportunity to do so tonight. I thank you for their desire to serve this community. May they be concerned for the things you are. May they seek justice as you seek justice. May they seek peace as you seek peace. May you place on their souls a burden for fairness and in their minds a desire for your wisdom. I pray for those that are bringing business before this commission tonight. May their needs and concerns be heard. And may they leave this place knowing that their city cares for them in a way that you'd want them to feel. I also remember tonight our first responders, and we thank you for our police, our firefighters, our EMS workers, and our 911 call center. I pray for their safety as they ensure ours. I ask for your blessing and favor be poured out on them and their families. We thank you, Lord, for the beauty of this region, for the spirit of this community that surrounds us, and the privilege to live in such a place. We give you all praise and glory in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. That's a Van Brocklin special. Yeah. Mr. Peterson?
Your first order of business is consideration of the minutes from your meeting held on Thursday, November the 1st.
Have any discussion, additions, corrections, or a motion?
Move for approval.
Second. Have a motion in multiple seconds. Any further questions? Ms. Jennings, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Fowler?
Yes.
Commissioner Wise?
Yes.
Commissioner Calhoun?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Brock?
Yes.
Mayor Tamita?
Yes.
At this time, Mayor, we would like to recognize flu shot awareness, and I would turn this over to Commissioner Calhoun.
Well, it's flu season, and I thought it'd be important to have an expert on flu shots and why we need flu shots to come and talk to us about that subject. So I'd like to introduce Dr. Caitlin Alexander, who is an associate professor at the Gatton College of Pharmacy, and she has a couple things for us to hear her talk about.
Thank you so much. I'm thrilled to be here as a resident of Johnson City. And back in front of you, we were here in October where you recognized American Pharmacist Month, and we thank you for that. And as Larry said, I'm here to talk about flu shots today. So as he mentioned, flu season is here. It typically peaks between October and March. And as you may or may not know, the flu is actually really easily spread. It's spread through droplets produced when a person coughs or sneezes or talks. And what a lot of people don't realize is they're actually very contagious even before their illness starts, and maybe continue to spread the infection even up to a week after they become sick. So you can actually pass the flu on before you even realize you're sick. Most people who get sick with the flu will experience mild illness, but there are some people who can have extreme complications, including hospitalizations and even death. Last year alone, nearly 80,000 people died from the flu. The CDC estimates that around 49 million people become sick with the flu last year. And the people most at risk in our communities would include children under the age of 5, most predominantly under the age of 2, our senior citizens over 65, pregnant women, and people with certain chronic health conditions. In addition to the health complications of the flu, there's also an economic impact. Employees need to miss work because they're sick. They need to take care of loved ones. And there's a cost of undergoing high levels of medical care depending on the complications. So because it's so easy to transmit the flu virus, and because of the serious complications of flu illness, you can see why it's so important to get the vaccine. Getting your annual flu shot is the single best way to protect yourself, your loved ones, and those in our community who are at most at risk. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, or the CDC, recommends that everyone over 6 months of age and older receive an annual flu shot. Every season the flu is different, and the vaccine is developed to target the most likely strains predicted to cause infection. The protection provided by the flu shot lasts for 1 season, so you have to renew it annually. There are different flu vaccines, and so if you're not sure if the flu shot is right for you or which one you may need, talk to your physician or your pharmacist. It takes about 2 weeks to develop the full immunity that you get from the flu shot. So actually right now is the best time to get your flu shot before peak flu season comes on. And I've heard that several amongst you may still be needing your flu shot. Is that true?
I don't know where you would have gotten that.
Insider sources. Well, lucky for you, we brought 2 vaccinators tonight. I have with me third-year student pharmacist Lily Tran from Austin, Texas, and Deep Patel from Chicago, Illinois. And we'd be happy to administer those flu shots to you.
Very good.
For the record, I
Very good.
declined a flu shot to be subjected to one here. So,
Under full disclosure, Dr. Fowler and I have both had our flu shots already.
already done.
Thank you for that. We appreciate that.
We decided we would just be the hecklers tonight while the rest of the commission gets theirs.
Well, I think it's also appropriate that any future commissioner may participate in this event also. So I'd like to know if Mr. Hunter has had his flu shot. You have not?
Motion to give a vaccination to. Yes, okay.
All in favor?
Yeah,
And you get to stand down front and get yours in front of everybody.
And you get yours in the neck.
Go down.
or you can just sit in that chair, John, it'll be fine, right there.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate you.
All right, one down, and he's still upright.
That's probably one of the easiest, next to Tim, that's probably one of the best shots I ever had.
Oh, well, then I would like to request that. And no cold spray.
No cold spray. Yeah, exactly.
Bring cold spray, but I wouldn't get one, so.
Everybody else is
Janet,
on
did you
your
get
own.
yours? Janet, did you get yours?
HIPAA.
No, I
Short
already
sleeve
have
shirt.
hers, and she's already had hers, so. Mayor Tamita, it's your turn.
It's your turn. How are you doing today?
I'm good.
I think they need to zoom in here.
So the moral of this story is, for all of you out there who have not had your flu shot, go get your flu shot. You can get them at your doctor, you can get them at the clinic. There's all kinds of walk-in clinics that you can walk in and you're in and out in 5 minutes. It's really easy.
Hey, today.
And define okay.
Are you feeling sick?
Yes, sir.
Have you had any flu shot before?
Oh, my
Yes, sir.
God. No.
And while they're continuing to vaccinate, I'll also tell you that it's a common myth that people will contract the flu from the flu vaccine, and that's actually completely not true.
So when are you giving it?
Because it takes a couple days to actually get the flu virus and get sort of the full symptoms, some people may have already, unfortunately, contracted that virus before getting the vaccine. And usually the side effects of the vaccine are very mild. So, yeah, it is really important and very easy to get, as you can see.
I guess the other thing is, whether you've had your shot or not, clean your hands, wash your hands all the time. I mean, I know there's a couple of hundred of us that work in this building, and we try to keep hand sanitizer everywhere. It's really important not to spread it. So clean hands go a long way.
Thank you. That was, I didn't even know you did it. So
You'll know tomorrow.
I'll know tomorrow when my arm swells up there.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
We got one more. John's still going
Oh,
here.
Oh, hey, everyone, all eyes on John Hunter.
We're gonna see how the new guy holds up.
Yeah.
use the big gauge needle.
He didn't scream or anything. It's good.
That was truth serum.
Yes.
We forget about that for the new guy.
Commissioners, your next order of business is the presentation of appreciation to Mayor David Tamita for his service to our community and to this commission. So if we could get everybody down front, please.
Feeling a little weak.
Overcome by that.
I'll say a couple words first and then pass it down. Mayor, we're here tonight to give you a commission proclamation from all of us. I go back to 2013 when you and I won election. At that time, we started serving on the commission. And you know what they say, when you serve in office for a while, you wind up usually with gray hair. That only applied to me, I think. So, but anyway, we want to read this commission to you and this proclamation to you, and thank you for all your service for the last 5 years.
Whereas David Tamita was elected by his fellow citizens to serve them in the capacity of commissioner in April 2013, making him the first Japanese American to serve on the Johnson City Commission, and in 2016 was named mayor. And whereas he was committed to enhancing relationships between Johnson City and Washington County, and during his tenure, the new Washington County Johnson City Animal Shelter and the Johnson City Washington County Family Justice Center were created.
And whereas he worked with mayors from Bristol and Kingsport, Washington County, and Sullivan County to sign a partnership agreement to advance Aerospace Park, a project that is significant to the economic development of our region. And whereas he supported the creation of King Commons, approved a $3 million annual investment to improve the city's roadways, increased operational funding for city schools, and supported the renovation of Langston High School.
And whereas the city's relationship with East Tennessee State University flourished under his leadership, as evidenced by the sale of the Millennium Center to ETSU, the groundbreaking of the Fine and Performing Arts Center, and major renovations completed at Freedom Hall Civic Center, home court of ETSU's men's basketball team.
And whereas during his time in office, the city has provided attractive parks and recreation facilities for the city, with the expansion of Wing Deer Park, the completion of Founders Park, the completion of the Tweetsie Trail, and the installation of a splash pad and inclusion playground at Rotary Park. Now therefore we, the Commission of the City of Johnson City, do hereby commend Mayor David Tamita for his leadership and his service to the community.
I think you're all supposed to hit me with that, aren't you? Okay. Thank you. I don't know what to say. It's I'm not much for prepared remarks. I had a few things I was going to say at the end, so I'll save a little bit for that. But the list of things that have just been read had very little to do with me, and a lot to do with us up here and those who came before us. Steve Darden, Jeff Banyas, Marcy Walker, Dan Mahoney, Clayton Stout, and I'm going to leave people out, and I apologize. But yeah, they left us a lot to work with, and all we had to do was keep the momentum going and finish it up. You never accomplish everything you set out to accomplish, especially in government, because it is, as Commissioner Fowler will tell you, arduously slow sometimes. But there's a different level of due diligence that has to go in when you're working with other people's money, and that that shows in how long it takes things to get done. I'm proud of what we've done together. Congratulations to our new commission. I'm sure they will continue the momentum that's been started with this past commission. It's been an honor and a privilege to serve you. I'm going to miss. Everybody asked me what I'm going to miss. I might miss some of the meetings. I'll miss most of the people. Most everybody is constructively critical, but at the end of the day, everybody cares about the city and wants to do its best. Sometimes we forget about that. So thank you to everybody, and thanks for coming out. I know everybody came here to see me. We intentionally put Tanner and Nub on for the last to make all you guys stay. So, but that's one of the things we're real proud about. But again, thanks for this, and good luck to everybody, and welcome John Hunter, coming December 3rd, and Dr. Calhoun. The one meeting we've had together has been, I'm sorry we didn't get to work together more, but I'm sure we'll see you in the future. But thanks very much.
Mayor, your next order of business is the presentation of a proclamation recognizing Small Business Saturday. Mr. Mabry?
And I want to make sure everybody notices how spiffy we look, all same up here in our new shirts. What it is. One of my memories was my very first budget meeting when this room was full of folks that were here because of a 7th and 8th grade sports allocation. And it's the first time I've been booed by more than 3 people. I have 3 kids. But was booed when I suggested that a very dependable source of school funding was shopping local. And if you would consider not trying your shoes on at Mahoney's and ordering them from Zappos, you're actually funding your schools. So we're going to do a proclamation for Small Business Saturday, but let's remember, it ain't just this Saturday, it's every day. Buy local, because we live and die by sales tax. And retail is under tremendous, big box retail is under tremendous pressure right now. And again, these are our neighbors. These are our friends and neighbors. Let's keep them in business. So, whereas local small business contributes to our local economy and community, according to the United States Small Business Administration, there are currently 30.2 million small businesses in the United States. They represent 99.7% of all businesses with employees in the United States, and are responsible for 65.9% of net new jobs created from 2000 to 2017. And whereas small business employs 47.5% of the employees in the private sector in the United States, and whereas 90% of consumers in the United States say Small Business Saturday has had a positive impact on their community, and whereas 89% of consumers who are aware of the Small Business Saturday say the day encourages them to shop small all year long, as they should. And whereas the most reported reason for consumers aware of the day to shop and dine at small independently owned businesses was to support their community, 64%. And whereas Johnson City is dedicated to promoting small business in our community and will observe Small Business Saturday on Saturday, November 24th. Now, therefore, I, David Tomita, Mayor of the City of Johnson City, Tennessee, ask all citizens to support small businesses and merchants on Small Business Saturday and throughout the year. Yes, sir.
Well, thank you very much, and on behalf of the Chamber and the business community, thank you for your service. We've enjoyed working with you, and we look forward to down the road doing some other things together. I look around the audience tonight. There are a handful of small businessmen and women here. So those of you who are not able to see what I'm able to see in the audience, I will encourage you to go and shop with them and shop local. And for anyone watching in another one of our communities, watching this particular show or this program, we will encourage you to shop local there and then come to Johnson City at the end of the day. Thank you very much.
It's not up here, so you just have to do it on
Your next order of business will be the turkey pardon and turkey trot presentation. Is there a turkey in the room?
Yeah, there is.
No, everybody sit down.
So while the pharmacist was giving the explanation of the flu shot, the turkey was in the doorway. It was really hard to focus.
So the turkeys come for a flu shot?
Yep.
Oh, he's in handcuffs.
Looks like a very dangerous turkey. Whoops. So, have you been good? Are you deserving of a pardon? Okay. So due to the contributions that this fine feathered bird has made towards the health and wellness of our citizens in leading the Turkey Trot, one of our most beloved community events, and in the spirit of this wonderful season of Thanksgiving, I hereby decree and grant a full mayoral pardon to Trotter the turkey. May he live a full and blessed life at the helm of many events for years to come. You may uncuff the prisoner.
Absolutely.
If you can. Is there anything you'd like to say? Or is this a new turkey? Yeah.
So, Mayor, thank you. The turkey contacted me earlier and said he would not be able to speak tonight, so I'll speak on his behalf. This coming Thursday, a week from today, we will be having the 13th annual Turkey Trot, which grew from about 700 people on a very cold 25-degree morning 13 years ago to probably somewhere between 4,500 and 5,000 people who will show up on Thanksgiving morning. You can register online. Go to jcturkeytrot.com. It's not too late. Get this wonderful shirt. We have quite a collection, 13 different shirts that we've created over the years, and we want to make this just our biggest yet, and it will be. That always comes true. We will be dedicating this year's Turkey Trot to Reverend C.H. Charlton, who was given our invocation every year. He will not be able to join us this year, but we always said his prayers, increase the success of the Turkey Trot, and he's made it to what it is today. So anyway, thank you, Trotter, for coming, and we will see everybody, as we say, it's the place to be on Thanksgiving morning.
Your next order of business is to consider a street closure request from the Downtown Merchants Association for the Hometown Holiday Fest to be held on Friday, November the 30th. The appropriate reviews have been made, and the recommendation is for your approval.
Very good. Hello again. Do we have any questions or a motion?
You know, there's a lot going on downtown that night. We're going to have most people over in King Commons, which hopefully will come over then to downtown as soon as the tree's lighted.
That's what we're hoping for. We've got a holiday bus that Coalition for Kids is going to let us borrow for the evening and help shuttle some people down from the tree lighting, and hopefully they'll come downtown first and then go up from downtown to the tree lighting and then back again. But as we all know, people do not like to walk very far. So we're trying to make it as easy as possible, even though it's about 2 blocks away, for them to come down. There's no excuse. There is actually transportation, so you can stay parked where you were at and come see us.
Should be a great night downtown on the 30th.
We've got 28 vendors that will be there, set up selling their retail wares. They're all handmade art items. We'll have hot chocolate and refreshments given out. We have strolling carolers, and we'll have live music from, we have some a cappella groups from ETSU that are performing for us, as well as other live entertainment. So it's going to be a great night.
Very good. How about a motion?
Approval. Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Ms. Jennings, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Calhoun?
Yes.
Commissioner Fowler?
Yes.
Commissioner Wise?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Brock?
Yes.
Mayor Temita?
Yes.
See you there.
Thank you.
Commissioners, your next order of business is consideration of the consent agenda.
Very good. My right to left, Dr. Calhoun, anything you'd like to pull for
Not this time, no.
Commissioner Wise
A5.
and Vice Mayor Brock?
Going to Commissioner Fowler here. I think I do, but
Commissioner
Nothing
Fowler?
from me.
Yep.
good. Thanks.
Okay. Very good. Mr. Peterson, A5.
A5 is consideration of your approval of a contract between the Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation and the city to initiate the conversion process of the Kefauver Farm. As you know, many years ago, we accepted a grant administered by the state that put certain deed restrictions on property at Optimus Park, and we converted that over to the Kefauver Farm. So those deed restrictions transferred over to the Kefauver Farm. Those deed restrictions, in general terms, require that that property be utilized for recreation purposes into perpetuity. And in previous meetings, you had asked us to begin the process of attempting to get that converted over to the Winged Deer Park expansion property there on the Bristol Highway. So this is the formal process and contract we have to go through with the state of Tennessee. There's also a $10,000 application fee that goes along with this contract. Yes, sir.
Any further questions?
I did figure out the one I wanted.
Okay.
Mr.
Could I ask a
Peterson?
question about that first? Just when this is complete and if that contract does come through and it's moved over, there still is no plan or restrictions or anything on the Kefauver property for its use. It can still be used for anything.
Anything,
right?
that is correct, sir.
Okay, so there's no limitations.
No, sir. If the conversion is approved, it's a piece of property that's open for any type of redevelopment that the commission so chooses.
It removes the deed restriction, which is currently on it. Okay, Vice Mayor.
Mine was D1, Mr. Peterson. Just, I know we replaced most of the ceiling tiles at Freedom Hall. What is this additional
And what this
project?
is, there is an area in the ceiling that is open that does not have ceiling tile, and that's the location that all of the rigging for the stage and the shows goes, and the curtain rods go up and down. What this does, it will put a canvas material that will stretch tight over that opening, then will close up that hole during events that don't require that to be open for rigging purposes when there's a concert or a theatrical performance.
Here, do you have to get up and remove it when it's used, or is it automated, or what?
It will have winches that'll be up inside the steel joists that are above the ceiling that will winch it up tight through pulley system that will cover that opening so you won't, right now it looks unfinished with the ceiling tile and that big black opening there. But you can't close it off with ceiling tile because of all the curtain rods and all the rigging that they use on the I-beams. This will crank itself up from both sides and overlap on the ceiling tile, and then when it needs to be removed, they can just lower the cranks down to the floor, unhook it, fold it up. It'll be 3 sections, and they can fold it up and store it in a closet and then put it back. So it'll be really easy for the staff and the people who work at Freedom Hall to remove it and to put it up. To cover the opening.
When will that be installed?
Well, right now we've got to work around events that are going on at Freedom Hall. According to Lisa, the director, they have a week opening at the end of November. So if you all approve that, they'll get started doing the welding, putting the winches and the pulleys and the cables in, and go ahead and order the material, the canvas material. And then we'll work around that after other events come through, that they have openings that they can go in there during the day before the events happen. But they said it would take them approximately 2 to 3 weeks to get it completely done. So it should be, hopefully we're shooting for right after the first of the year. All right.
Very good.
Thank
Any
you.
other questions? Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Have a motion? About a second.
Second.
Any further discussion? Ms. Jennings, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Calhoun?
Yes.
Commissioner Fowler?
Yes.
Commissioner Wise?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Brock?
Yes.
Mayor Temita?
Yes.
Your next order of business is ordinances ready for your consideration on third and final reading. This being ordinance number 4664-18. Just a moment and I'll have the caption. An ordinance to amend the zoning map of the city of Johnson City, Tennessee, being part of the appendix to ordinance number 1519, entitled "An Ordinance to Adopt a Code of Laws and Ordinances for the City of Johnson City, Tennessee, and to repeal all laws and ordinances in conflict therewith, and amendatory thereof by changing from B4 Planned Arterial Business District to R5 High Density Residential District certain portions of properties located at 0 Mockingbird Lane and North Lane specifically referenced on the site map for the specific boundaries, is ready for your consideration on third and final reading. And we'll be glad to answer any questions you may have.
Mr. Peterson, when we passed it on second reading, I had added a couple of amendments to the motion. One was traffic calming on Sundale, and the other was to explore any other ingress or egress points in the project. Do you have any report on either or both of those?
Both. It's, they looked at other ingress, egress points. That was there was never any agreement that there was a logical place to do that. As far as the traffic calming and conversations with Mr. Cantrell, there is places there along the, what I'm gonna call the Mockingbird extension, to place a traffic calming circle where Mockingbird ends now, and perhaps do the same thing up at where it runs into Northgate, and then somewhere in the middle of that, do some other form of traffic calming in terms of a bulb out or another traffic circle, a speed hump. Something like that would certainly address any concerns dealing with speed of automobiles, and we feel like it would also be a deterrent to people wanting to just cut through there because of having to manipulate through all that traffic calming.
But what we left it with, there will be still a gate there as well, is that correct?
What you left it with last time did include a gate.
And the remainder of Sundale, we were kind of, I think what you're described there is from Sundale to the mall.
Yes,
through
ma'am.
that project, but the remainder of Sundale, are they looking at the whole?
They are.
Piece
Alan,
of
you want
Sundale.
to address that, please, sir?
I know this didn't have anything to do with the rezoning, but it was just part of the amendment.
What we've discussed is basically what you would do at Northgate and Sundale only. The rest of the street already has some speed humps on it. And through the discussions with the people that came to the public hearings, we realized that the speed humps were reduced by one. So they were wanting that one back. Well, in a way, the roundabout replaces that speed hump. So with the roundabout and the other speed humps that are on the street, I think will be significant and will be enough.
Have you talked to the residents about the roundabouts
No.
yet? Okay.
There will probably be some interference on the corners as you do the roundabout. When we did them in the tree streets 20-something years ago, we had to work on the four corners. And we'll have to talk to those four people for sure to be able to do that. And we got something going in our favor in that Sundale is already a 60-foot right-of-way, and it's not 50. So we've got an extra little width there that we can put in a traffic calming type roundabout. This is nothing like the big roundabout out at North Johnson City where we built one behind the Walmart. That's all about moving traffic, not slowing it down. The ones in the tree streets are the type that's smaller and tighter that slow traffic down. So there would be a significant diversion and slow down around the roundabout. Probably have more effect than the speed hump.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I have, I think, made it pretty clear my reservations about the impact the traffic would have. Having said that, this is a zoning question, and what we have there right now is a property zone B4 that could be developed as any of the allowable uses of B4 tomorrow with very little comment from us beyond what the standard would be to pull permits. And so you have this high-intensity commercial development potential in that parcel that I don't think is beneficial or advantageous to the North Hills community at all. And so that's the first part of my concern. The second is, if you look back on the history of this parcel, it's only really been in the last decade that it had a B4 designation. for a half a century roughly, it was an R5 designation, which is a higher density residential use, which would better buffer the mall and an intensive commercial use from the single-family residential neighborhood of North Hills. So it brings us back to the concern we had about traffic. And one of the issues that I had with the site plan that the commission approved was the presence of a gate as a means for controlling that traffic, because that did two things. One, it put an awful lot on the mechanism of the gate to intercept or to slow that traffic, and that'll be fine as long as the gate is working. But at some future point, when the gate isn't working and they no longer have to stand in front of us, that gate could just be left open as a means of solving the broken gate, and you're back in a situation where the traffic perhaps becomes an issue. Having said that, I also think that you can calm traffic other ways and make this, and for lack of a better word, an inhospitable way to cut through. I think if you look at where people would be coming from to come to the mall, the traffic counts we were given were very high, but they were arrived at by taking a square footage number for a retail shopping center and then dividing the traffic count that square footage generates evenly by all of the access points to the mall. Well, it seems unlikely to me that people are going to use the Mockingbird Lane the same way they would the entrance where the big sign and the waterfall is that leads out to Roan Street. So I don't believe that even if you accept those numbers are going to translate evenly to the exit on Mountcastle, the exit out of Belk up onto Sunset, the exits getting out from down by Penny's. There are a number of other exits that lead to places that make more sense unless you're a resident of North Hills. And those folks I could imagine would want to use this as a way to get to the mall. But outside of the North Hills community, there are collector and arterial routes through the city that can be made to be much more hospitable. And so I would suggest a motion, I'm going to make a motion, that the rezoning be approved for the reasons I've just outlined to get you out of the proximity to B4. But I would do it contingent, my motion would be contingent on modifying the site plan to eliminate the gate and replace it with 2 traffic circles and the traffic calming mechanism, whatever that ends up being, whether it's speed bumps or the bulb out within that community. I believe that is a long-term and reliable solution to slow traffic down that isn't relying on the mechanics of a gate that at some point very well could fail. So that would be my motion.
Okay. We have a second and we can discuss it?
I'll go ahead and second that so we can discuss.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
A couple of questions. One, with that particular motion, since the gate would be on the property of the owner, the developer, they could still put the gate there. We could not make a statement or a motion that would prevent them from putting a gate there. Is that accurate?
It's the right of way.
It would be a public street through there.
Access to the public street?
Yes, sir.
So then they could not put the gate there?
They could not put the gate up without your permission.
Okay.
Any other questions? All right, Ms. Jennings, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Calhoun,
Before I vote, let me just say, I went back and did some research on this. I went back and actually watched the open public forum on the issue and heard the concerns of the citizens, which I think were significant and understandable. And I know we're not going to open up the conversation on the site development plan. That's not why we're here. And my concern, I think, is taken care of by listening about the research that was done on the flooding, and also this new motion which has the traffic calming. And with those things, I would vote yes.
Commissioner Fowler,
Yes.
Commissioner Wise,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Brock.
Yeah, I mean, since this is the first time I've heard about this new approach to it, I'm going to go ahead and vote yes, but I want to make sure that, there are alternatives if a better system of calming or deterrent. And we all agreed we did not want to pass through from Sundale to the mall. And so is this going to prevent that from happening? And I can't answer that, I don't know. You know, I know the gate, if the gate's closed, it would.
If you approve the motion as made, that is all that's required, is the 2 traffic circles and the other traffic calming. That would be required to be put into place as a part of the approval of the plan. And it would take additional action before this board to do anything different.
Then I'm going to change and vote no.
Mayor Temita.
Yes.
Okay, your next order of business is consideration of an agreement between the city and Orange Ventures. What this agreement does is it outlines the terms and conditions of the transfer of the property where the Tannery Knob Bike Park has been built. What this sets up is a transfer of 49.949 acres with all of the improvements having been made on the property for the bike park. This is subject to completion of all the improvements, inspection and certification of the improvements, the training of our staff, the submission of all of the invoices associated with the expenses incurred by R&G Ventures for the construction. And you have previously authorized reimbursement up to but not exceeding $732,300 for those improvements. Legal has prepared this. Mr. Summers has approved it. This will give us 45 days from this evening, if you approve it, to do our due diligence of getting the training and the inspections. The inspections and the training are contracted for, and I think the inspections are set up to happen sometime this month or early in December. So we've tried to get all of the pieces put into place to make sure that we can get everything we need to do in 45 days. And at that point, we'd be set up to close the real estate transaction and move forward from that point. We would recommend your approval.
Good. Any discussion or a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the acceptance of the agreement of conveyance.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Ms. Jennings, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Calhoun.
Yes.
Commissioner Fowler.
Yes.
Commissioner Wise.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Brock.
Yes.
Mayor Temita.
Yes.
Passed.
For those who haven't been up there, it is incredible views in every direction.
Yep.
So,
Get on it. Mr. Peterson?
Commissioners, this brings you to the end of tonight's agenda, and on behalf of the staff, we would like to thank Mayor Temita for all of his time and service to our community, and to the staff, all of your help and guidance over the last 5 years, and we're certainly going to miss you and wish you the best in your future endeavors, and look forward to your ideas and comments on future city activities as they come up. So thank you, sir.
Thank you. Anybody have any comments? Commissioner Fowler?
We're going to miss you. You've done a great job, and we'll have some big shoes to fill for the next few years. So.
And I didn't necessarily mean that. Is
what
there
I'm saying.
anything else? Yeah.
well, don't worry, you weren't going to get anything.
Well, I'm looking forward to sitting on the sidelines and complaining. I'm buying a fax machine tomorrow, and I'm getting all your fax numbers. But
do you still have a fax?
I have no idea. I would not even have an idea of how to use it. I told Commissioner Fowler to get him out of here by 7, so I won't take a whole lot of time. I covered a lot of it before, but yeah, it's been an honor to serve. It's been an eye-opening experience. It's I've learned that things are rarely as cut and dry and as they seem, and that very little happens that is a singular action. That everything that we do up here has tens or hundreds of different things that it affects, and trying to process all that takes time, which explains sometimes, again, why it takes so long to do it. I covered some of my memories. A good one. I was blessed to give each of my daughters their high school diploma. Well, the high school folder that, there's no diploma in there, but to give them that on stage, and that was something I'll never forget, and appreciate the opportunity to do that. Anna, Aaron, and Isabel, I love you girls. Tweetsie Trail, we named a lot of the things. There's a lot of talk about regionalism right now, and I don't want to get too far into the weeds on this, but Aerospace Park was a great example of 5 entities coming together and doing something for the common good. Kind of like the next level of regionalism is going to come doing things we don't want to share because it's going to be retail, and I hope. Again, as our lifeblood is retail, I hope that the 5 entities can find a way to combine forces as we did on Aerospace Park and become the 75th largest market in the United States, which we would be as a region. But we have to market it and invest in it and operate it and share in the revenue as a region. And that's going to be tough. That's going to be tough conversations, but I hope, since everybody's talking about that, I hope we take a look at that, because that's our future relies on retail. I think we're doing a great job. We've shifted to the sports tourism. I'm glad to see. I'm sorry we won't be here to do the final paperwork on Tannery Knob, but I'll always be proud of that we got that started. The Sports Science Center, again, an arduously slow process, but I think things are coming together. And if you've traveled back to China as a private citizen, I'm telling you, fly business class, because Coach was horrible.
Yes.
We sat together
for 12 hours, shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah.
It was miserable.
You arrived much more ready to hit the ground running. So as a private citizen, I would encourage you to do that. You'll notice we are all same today. I was glad one of the things that we talked about 2 years ago was to take a look at some rebranding. We're in the process of that. It'll roll out slowly, probably over the next year or so, but we'll bid farewell to our old friend here, which has served us well, but time to go. We're live streaming, which meant Mrs. Banyas and my mother could watch the meetings. I've sensed that Mrs. Banyas and my mom are going to need to come up with a first and third Thursday support group because they will not have anything to do on the first and third Thursday, and I may have to join them. Again, thanks to everybody who came before us. Again, you left us a great city to run, and again, congratulations to Vice Mayor Brock and John Hunter on their victories, and I know you guys will do a great job going forward. So thank you for this opportunity. Thanks for your friendship and your counsel, and it's a great city, and I'm proud to be part of it, and going to be looking forward to seeing what great things lay down the road. So with that, we'll call this meeting adjourned.